I actually like that they had some pressure on them and had to make some shots. That's going to give them confidence moving forward.
Curling now enters the Sports Weekend spotlight.
Joe, let's start with you. Of course, the women's curling takes center stage shortly. What did you like about the Gushue opening win?
As you already mentioned, I loved how light they were. I also loved how much they were chatting out there. We actually got to hear a few jokes being cracked after a couple of sweeps, and just a lot of information being shared, and nobody seemed to be too uptight. We saw like good shot debriefs. They had a few misses early, and Denmark capitalized on them, and just learning from every rock and hate what you see, what do you know, and just trying to get a hold of the ice. So I thought that it was a really good start. I actually like that they had some pressure on them and had to make some shots. That's going to give them confidence moving forward. And like we say, oh, tight game, and that was unexpected, and Swiss shouldn't have lost, but it's the Olympics. Everyone deserves to be here. I don't think we can say any game is going to be a gimme for this whole entire week. So I think it's a great start, and that was my first time calling a 4-person curling game, and I had a lot of fun.
Nice.
I gotta say, watching 4-person game here, I could have sworn it was over after 8. Like I'm thinking, oh my God, they're still playing. What's going on here? Oh, there's a 9th and 10th end. That's how used to the 8-end game and the speed of mixed doubles. It takes a while to get used to 4-person. Joanne, right quick, are you doing another push-up challenge that I've got to train for? Are you doing that first thing this morning? Because I need the whole choreographed routine.
Yeah, I gotta continue to peruse. It's kind of for those things when you can't sleep in the middle of the night when you're supposed to be napping. So I'll keep you posted though, Colleen.
Okay. And Mike, weren't you supposed to take this morning off? But here you are. You're a trooper.
Well, I just woke up and I had to kind of make my bed. I'm not going to lie. I was this midnight shift is less glamorous than it sounds, Colleen, and I wouldn't mind, between games being able to walk outside and see some sunlight. But I'm not complaining. It's we're happy to be working, and it's been I said we're not halfway done. It feels like the mixed doubles is over. Now we're halfway through. We're not halfway through. We're about a third of the way through our workload. So anyway, we're excited though. A nice start for Brad and the boys, and we're looking forward to a long week.
Bruce, early on in the competition, thinking back to the mixed doubles, we were sort of getting a sense of what was going to unfold. How big or how much importance do you put into these first few draws, specifically when we look at the top competition that Canada is facing?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that Mike and I are clearly more reluctant to start wearing the broadcast team black tank top. Doesn't fit us quite the same.
No, it's my mood for tonight. It's inhale, exhale, repeat.
Okay.
Because it's hard watching Team Canada out there. I'm like a 12 out of 10. I did not expect
Devin,
to
let
be
me say tonight,
invested, providing unbiased, neutral coverage of the game.
Joe's just
Guys, this is
flexing.
hard, okay?
Joe flexing over there for us.
I'm glad she's all about the mantra. I thought for sure she was prepping for another.
No, it's hard. I totally missed that. I just you can't see, but it is hard being in the booth. It's hard being a fan, and I wasn't ready for this, you guys.
Bruce.
I think I remember the question. The question was about the importance of these early games. You don't want to lose them, Devin. First of all, you don't want to have to be chasing later in the week by any means. You don't want your losses to go up to 2, 3, and then hovering around that 4, which is always dangerous. Also, just get your first one under your belt, right? Get it out of the way. I love today. I don't know why this continues to freak out my brain, but it does. And I think these guys do this better than anybody. The Walker-Gallant combo. The second that Nichols or Gushue release the rock, the second, almost before it's even out of their hand, they say top 8, top a button, back 4. And they're always right there. This continues to mess with my mind incredibly. Their ability to judge is ridiculously good. So I just thought it was a good start. And I think this is a game that on paper you should have won. And it's important to win the games on paper that you should win, because that way you don't have to chase later in the week.
Mike, were you surprised with Norway beating Switzerland? Norway, of course, in the men's side is who Canada plays next.
Well, of the games on the ice, that was probably the upset. But I don't think it was a big upset by any means. Wallstad and his team are very good. You got Torger Nergård on the 6th Olympics for Torger. So those teams have a lot of history. And there's talk about intertwining. You've got You've got I think there's a lot of teams that have some history with each other, and in that case, I know they're very familiar with each other. And no, I wasn't shocked. The other thing was Glukov. I mean, Glukov had a shot to win that game. He had a draw for 2 to win that game against Schuster. So Schuster dodged a little bit of a bullet. It was a very difficult shot, mind you. But the field's tight. I said, the thing I like most about watching Gushue is they weren't their best. They had a lot of misses early, as Joe mentioned, and they still kind of managed to win that game in 8 ends. So that bodes very well for what's going to happen moving forward. But, they have Norway tonight at 1:30. Does Canada. So it'll ramp up a little bit, the level of competition. They're going to have a tougher time with Norway than they did with Denmark, I feel. But they still, it's in their own hands, obviously.
Yeah, talking about right shot and the right time in that fourth end of that Canada. Who did they play last night?
Denmark.
But just to that point, I think it was Bruce or Mike, I can't remember who I'm giving credit to for this point, is that these guys can have a 75% game and still win games here, right?
Their floor is very high.
Right.
And interestingly, in that Denmark game, like you remember in the 6th end, the Danish skip had a shot for 3 to go 2 up and missed it. So that's, again, speaks to the level of competition, even though he didn't make it. And not to say that the guys wouldn't have won, but they got a little bit of help from Denmark, but they played when the shots were important. They made all the ones they needed, and that's the key.